Hello and welcome to Two Yoked Bros. With one Yoked Bro and a new Yoked Bro. This here is Shubzilla, if you don't know.
You're living under a rock.
She lives in both light and darkness, as you can see. My name is Steve, aka Cosplay from Death Star, but Steve for now. And we're doing our reviews for VPC round 1 this year. The Vocalist Producer Challenge.
Or rather, Cosplay's doing reviews, and I'm just going to sit here and field your questions. So if you don't follow me already at Shubzilla on any of your social media platforms, which shame on you if you don't, but I'll be taking questions from all my social media, so please, feel free. Oh wait, this is recorded in advance. Ha!
Right? It's not a live stream. I do prepared content, Shubs. I don't want their participation. No. Right now she's fielding social media to try and get the questions, and we'll answer the ones that we can. But we're going to jump right into it because there's 42 tracks. Now I'm going to lay down some rules. And the rule number 1 is that if I don't like where the track is going after the first chorus is done, I will give every track to the first chorus. If I don't like where it's going after it's done, I'm just going to stop it. Rule number 2, you'll see that we have trees and nature and shit behind us. That means it's a Saturday, there's people mowing lawns, there's dogs barking. That's all part of the experience. No one listens to your hip-hop in a vacuum. And rule number 3, I ain't going to be nice. I'm not going to be nice to myself. Apologies in advance to Mark. I'm a very critical person. I'm one of those that can't do teach, and those that can't teach are critics. Therefore, understand that even though I'm trying to help, I'm being critical of the track and everything like that. It's not to say that I think I'm better than that, or that I don't make these same mistakes I'm going to be calling out, and I'll try to contextualize that. But we're going to get into the first set here in a moment.
Alright, well...
Let's get into this first track, Shubs. One Up Funk. The members of Run Up Funk are I Don't Give a Shit.
Get on stage now. Okay.
Shubs will dig into the membership while we listen to this intro. Now, you always want to start your competition tracks with as many tracks to listen to with a long intro, right?
Guys, E Harlem Shakedown, E flat, keep the cymbals flashy, and Jerry, let's take the bass line for a walk.
That wasn't signing your track, by the way. It's just
Hold on.
thingy on my...
Okay, guys, these eggs are getting us a lot of trouble in the past. What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Hook is very, like, classic nerdcore.
Leroy Jenkins, one up on the crimes of the times that were wasted.
Reminds me a bit of an Adam Warrock delivery. I wonder if that's live scratching. Well, like, manual scratching, I should say.
Open more doors, the key is just to take it. Leroy Jenkins.
I really like this after chorus piece.
God damn it. Leroy, Jimbo, this is ridiculous. I'm down.
As a bassist, I'm about that bass transition.
Leroy, you were just stupid as hell.
So that was Leroy Jenkins by One Up Funk. It was a good opener, honestly, to this round. It was this classic meme, old meme. Really strong overall. Like, it's very much a nerdcore track, and that's not a dig. That's just when you do a lot of classic nerdcore, when you listen to a lot of old Frontalot or early Schaefer or Lars or MC Chris, the delivery doesn't sound very rooted in a lot of styles of indie hip-hop, but it almost sounds like retro hip-hop, like 80s, early 90s hip-hop from a lot of the pop hip-hop groups. But overall, interesting, the delivery, a lot of changes in the song, a lot of pieces, a nice bass breakdown, a nice a nice overall delivery, a re-listenable track. Definitely a track I like on a compilation, and definitely a track that would make me be like, okay, that was pretty good. What else does One Up Funk have if One Up Funk was a group? Like I was listening to like an EP or an album from them, or on their SoundCloud or their Bandcamp. Overall, I think a good job. I see that the overall fan vote for them is 7.5 fires out of 10 fires. And I actually very much agree with that. I think the fans are, the audience vote is pretty correct. I would like to have heard a bit more powerful drums, but I will admit that I'm listening to this on laptop speakers right now outside, so I don't know how much of that is the beat and how much of that is the laptop speakers trimming out the low end. But I still heard the bass solo. So good work. 7.5 stars. If I had to add anything in there, I would be cautious about how long that intro was. As fun as skits, and I do skits on albums, as fun as intros are, when you're just sitting and you're listening to stuff, you want to get to the song that you listen to. I don't listen to things for their intro. I listen to them like for their intro talking or their referential things. I listen to them for the meat of the song. So maybe trim the intro a little bit next time. But other than that, real solid first run, and it makes me excited to hear more tracks from One Up. All right, the next track we've got is Popo Zoo? Yeah, Popo Zoo by Popozu by Leet Geek Beef, and I know who this is. This is Tanner and Beefy, and so automatically I'm probably gonna like it because I like most of what Beefy does, and I tried to get Tanner to be my producer partner on this, and rather than say or respond to anything, they fully ghosted my Facebook messages, which was the right choice on their part, and I'm glad that they're partnered up with Beefy on this. I just listened to Too Big to Fail Part 2, which Death Star is on one of the tracks, and it's fantastic. I've been listening to that on and off for the last few weeks, so I expect good things.
The single's Popo Zao. This is
Popo Zao.
Brazilian ass shaker right here. Can I say that?
Amsterdam? Yeah. Or Robin Hood sped up?
Beef tea.
Good flip.
4105.
Again, J-Pigger gets man, you can make a video. Transcending media, you see it through the radio. Premeditate the fire, roasting in the studio, arson in the stereo. Motive, still murder though. Y'all remember when we used to have a rapping hamster in this community?
The singles.
So, that was a quick song. I like that. I like quickness. That helps in this competition. It's Beefy, right? Like, low-key, a super underrated MC in Nerdcore. The people that know him know that he's just been churning really good material for, what, like 15 years now? Definitely OG rapper. And he's working with Tanner, who he's worked with a ton, so they know each other. They know where each other's strengths lie, and that is clear. On the third verse, Tanner waiting for the hats until the back half of the third verse to really let the staccato of Beefy's rhythm go was a strong choice. Not, it's a meme rap, so just leaving the hamster dance, which is hard to rap over if you're using the instrumentation, and just leaving it alone and just doing hype calls. Strong choice, because short chorus, short verses, really just a quick listen. Shubs, thoughts as you drink and smoke?
Nah.
Nah, no thoughts from Shubs. No thoughts from Shubs. No negative thoughts from Shubs. That's good. That's almost a stamp of approval. Right there. I didn't see any like really angry facial expressions.
Figure no news is good news.
No news is good news.
Unless
She's gonna tell you something if there's something to be told. But yeah, overall good. Definitely perfect meme song. Because it's super identifiable. It's not like a deep cut, and using the instrumentation of the meme, absolutely the right choice. No real good criticisms on it, because I don't really criticize Beefy because he's much, much better than I am, and he does what I wish I could do better than I do, so I don't really know where to cut in. Mix is good. A lot of good. 7.5 as well. I'd probably give this an 8. Only because though I liked how the chorus was implemented, the chorus doesn't like enhance it for me.
Well, this is one where it can be done live.
Yeah, so that can be done live. Like, that is a straight, like, if that came in at, like, say, a convention, and Hamster Dance started playing, and people were like, what the fuck? But then they do the switch up and cut it in the way they do with the beat, so it's just hype.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like,
it's...
Like, if Beefy and Tanner performed this live, I would be in the front, shaking people. It
would be a worthy to be on an album song. So, good job. I'm going to vote it 8 out of 10. You get an 8 from me. And then we're going to go in. We're going to go in on the next one. So, let's see what's next. Alright, next track is Anti-Hero. Now, a lot of these tracks have lyrics now, which some people are really happy about because they can dive more into the analysis. I'm not going to go into this on here because I'm listening to it as I would listen to music, and I don't, on the first listen or the second listen or even the first several listens, really dig into the lyrics of the song. If I really like a song, I'm going to carry it with me and listen to lyrics later down when I wanna jump in. But for now, we're gonna listen to Anti-Hero from FTS. One of these songs has a line about a roofie in it somewhere. I'm probably not gonna catch it while it's happening, but if I do, I'm not gonna be happy about it because it appears the community is not comfortable with how they use the concept of roofing. Which means they probably didn't talk about it negatively. But I don't know. I haven't heard the song yet, so.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Fuck you.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then.
Me displeasing. I'm looking for a reason to let in and start releasing and transform into a heathen. Packing boxes up for sneakers. They call me for some hangers. This
little rough in certain parts.
Damn, I wanna hang.
But overall, good flow.
Kind of toilet paper. Ain't gonna feel no guilt.
Kind of a talking flow.
That ass was a hater. For all these other slackers, all these other motherfuckers, they can fuck.
So overall, from a listenability standpoint, I feel like, and again, I'm listening to this on laptop speakers, I feel like the vocals were really out in front, and they didn't necessarily blend 100% with the beat, but again, laptop speakers, so who knows. I'm not going to ding for that. Really liked the hook. Nice little, like, rhythmic, slowed down funk, kind of easy rhythm groove to it. And then, like, a vocal style that I think goes with that well. So, overall, a good act. Generally, there were some fall-offs on the verse. Stepped off the beat a bit. It was almost a conversational tone rapping style, a very storyteller style, which I like. I've done a number of songs like that in the past, and it really helps you get the words the first time, get the punches the first time, but it means that some of it seemed a little out of rhythm with it. If that's deliberate at the end of a verse, it really, I think it can really work, or in the middle of the verse and then it comes back around. I don't know if it worked here, but also 3-week competition, right? Like, you only have so much time to write, edit, re-record, and work things in. Production-wise, it's a beat that I liked. It didn't blow me away, but it overall felt okay. I don't have information on the roofie portion exactly. I'm going to open up the lyrics here on the computer.
Yeah, check, because on my end, I'm not able to, like, scroll down to it.
I don't know if the lyrics are right on this.
Where does it stop?
Stops for me at the dude who stops at that
Yeah,
stale broke shit when you're just cop to Dutch.
It's not complete.
It's not complete, so I'm not getting the context there.
Let me see if I can find it somewhere else, but well, that's probably gonna be one we come back to.
Yeah, we'll come back to.
Yeah.
Right now this only has a, what is this, 5.5 stars? Yeah, 5.5 stars. I think that's, assuming that there's not like super problems on the lyrics, I think that's low for this track. I think it's not a 5 out of 10 or a 5.5 out of 10. It lives in 6 or 7. The chorus alone gives it a lot of re-listenability. So I'm going to give it a 6. Tentative. Nah, I'm going to give it a 7. My instinct says 7. These are my votes. They're not Shubs' votes. So don't assume that she would give the same vote that I would do.
Or that I'm voting.
Or that she's voting at all.
I am voting, by the way.
Yeah, she is voting, but
I'm not letting you know what it is.
And there's
No.
You're not gonna get that from Shubs.
No. Y'all can message me if you want to hear what Auntie Shubs has to say.
So we're using the largest circle light ever in a YouTube video. The sun. You know, and it's real good. As you can see, it's really filling my whole face with light. Shubs has sunglasses to protect her eyes. I have eyelids. So it's going to be a lot of squinting from me for the next while because there's not a lot of clouds for sun blockage. But just imagine that's me thinking and brooding about your tracks.
We need sponsors. Okay, so today's VPC round 1, a la 2 Yoked. No, hold on. How would I put this? Today's 2 Yoked Bros VPC round 1 review sponsored by Dairy Queen.
Cause why not? Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
It's good.
I guess.
Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen. It's the fast food place you forget about, and then you remember, and you're like, it's all right. Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen. They're not open 24 hours.
No, they're not.
Also brought to you by Transitional Lenses.
They
work.
They work. They get it done. So we read the lyrics. Now, this is a continuation of the song we just listened by Anti-Hero, FTS. We read the lyrics, and I'm still not getting the context. They're heating up down there. Still not getting the context of the roofie line. I'm not feeling like it's super positive. You're in a community that's going to be super aware about that. And by that, I mean a community that also includes women who are super aware about that, and a handful of guys and non-binaries and other people that also are not big fans of roofies. So, yeah, you can be super casual about that serious subject if you want, but it definitely changes the feeling about the song. It sours the notes. So I'm going to reduce my vote, which I just voted as a 7, and I'm going to reduce it down to a 6, because that whole point was for the roofie line. That's literally it. If you intended it to be taken a different way, or a very specific negative way, you don't have parentheses on the lyrics explaining it like you do in other areas. And it doesn't come across in the song, more importantly. So remember, the author's intent is not always what the audience receives, so you need to make it super clear. All right.
When you put something like that line in,
yep,
you are you're gonna catch heat.
You're gonna catch questions at the very least, but definitely usually some negative responses. And again, if you're fine with that as an artist, I'm not saying that that's okay, that you know, we should accept that artists can do things, but I'm not in control of you, right? And so I'm not here to police you. I'm here to inform you about the negative consequences of some choices you make, and not make you feel like they're necessarily a personal attack on you as a whole of a human being, but that you did something, it had a negative response, and either your intent wasn't carried across, or if you didn't really think about it, maybe you will think about it in the future. I'm not usually roofied, so it's not a personal thing for me. I'm sure there are other people in the thing that let them affect it more.
Yeah, I side-eyed physically.
Yeah.
Like, the very least. But from what I do understand, there were a few folks in the community that were not feeling that line.
Yeah, and yeah, you just gotta pay attention to that. You gotta be aware. Oop, the Smash account, Bleak and Mild. I like that name, Bleak and Mild.
Yeah.
I really like this beat. Comes through the laptop, real clean. MC, you're in the way of the hook. You're in, don't get in the way of a kind of a good groove hook if you're not adding to it. It's a pet peeve for me. I don't love the line, the phrase "beat the pussy up." I don't know why. I just hate the phrase. All right. So that track, it's probably my least favorite so far. MC, you're up in your nasal palate area somewhere, which as a person with a nasal voice, I can sympathize with. I definitely speak from right here. And I definitely rap from right there as well, sometimes. It's something that you want to avoid coming across, because if you don't have a real rich, low voice with it, and then, and so that you kind of come across like Digital Underground or Slick Rick, who kind of use either the back of their palate and they're pushing down on their Adam's apple, or they use kind of their nasally voice. They use kind of the front chamber. It can sound like you're just doing stuffy nose raps. And maybe you had a cold during this time. Maybe that was what was going on. But it kind of took me out of the groove. You had kind of a good, kind of funky melody thing, and the chorus really reinforces that. And then, like I said, when you talk over your chorus and you're not adding to it, you're getting in the way of a nice break in the bars. Bars, as far as what I could pull out, were not my favorite topic, but overall, they weren't like the worst. You didn't fall off the beat a lot or anything like that, as far as I could hear. So yeah. It looks like you've got a 5.5, and I think that's right, like a 5. Some people might like it a little bit more, so they might go 6. Some people might like it a lot less. They're gonna go 4. I'm gonna give it a 5. A 5 to me is a song that's a song. It's not a train wreck. You're definitely not like falling apart. You're not in that 2, 3, 4 category where you're really struggling. But you're not in that. You're not like a 7, 8, or 9 where you won't make me want to listen to the track again. So yeah, 5. Any thoughts, Shubs, as you struggle through the internet and your phone?
I'm struggling through the internet right now.
Shubs is having to deal with some internet troubles, and it's mostly my fault, so.
That's fine.
Alright, next track here is Baking Problem, Soggy Bottom Mix by Dappersaurus.
Respect for putting in Numa Numa.
Yeah,
that ages me, but I respect
I love Numa Numa. It was one of the things I recommended to Mark.
That's what they did. That's like, that was the...
And most important of all, you've got 2 hours on this, Bakers. On your mark, get set, play.
Great British baking show. Yes. Yes.
What a fucking pastry.
Yes. I already like where this beat is going.
Saying that don't need speed, so prove yourself and we can feed. Her cherry pie so nice and hard. Stab my knife into the heart. Take me the slice and don't fall apart. Cross that inside like a Malamar, yeah. Love sweet cream and some funny. I got a baking problem. Just gotta get up on it. I got a baking problem. I got a thing for mixers. I got a baking problem. See it again, I beat it. I got a baking.
You can't walk off the beat so much. You can't not ride the beat so much. You can't just avoid caring about the rhythm of the percussion. Rapping is a percussive instrument. And if you do not rap correctly over a beat for whole swaths of verses, it's not like there's too many words. You're choosing not to do it. And what it does is it means that the song is less listenable. The head bob is distracted. It's not good form. It's not good flow form. And I know that Dapper Source does this on purpose. I know that this is deliberate choices, and those choices are going to get negative responses from me every time. I was excited about the beat. I was excited about the content. I'm excited about British our baking show. Excited about everything except how the words are delivered. I don't know if Shubs has feelings either way.
I got feelings on my internet connection right now.
You got feelings on that?
Yeah. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull up everyone's lyrics and such, and my connection right now is such where I can't. So there's that.
So what I'm just going to say here is, let's see. The audience votes this a 7. I couldn't possibly give this a 7. There's no reason to go back and listen to it. One of the instruments has wandered off and decided to do its own thing, deliberate or not. You might as well be a groove metal band with a prog metal lead guitarist thrown into it. It doesn't blend. And yeah, I'm passionate about it because there's ways to do it deliberately that really play, and then there's ways to do it where it doesn't, and it doesn't there. I'm gonna give this a... No, I'm gonna be honest emotionally. I'm giving it a 4. That's my lowest score so far. It's my lowest score so far. This is Blue Blood from Dystopia.
Yeah, I put in a little aside for folks. Please let me know who's
this
on
one
what
goes
team.
out to the Horseshoe Crabs. Survivors since the dawn of time and still going strong. Probably gonna outlive us, too.
The climate's wrecked. Don't check the cross. Now
Yep,
who's up next?
MC117.
Take a puff. I know we did wrong, but still you live on. Under the waves to the bottom, and no sea fades away into a blue world. What you feel until we melt the ice caps.
The bass in this is so enjoyable. Bassist, guitarist, can't ignore it. I love this bridge.
Follow me down to the water. Under the end of the world is a brand new day. Even the blue bloods.
Ooh. I really like that track. I think that was pretty obvious through it. I didn't have any negative comments what was happening. MC117 is one of my favorite competitors in VPC. His partner, whose name I do not know, and that is not their partner's fault because they did a very good job on this beat. It was just good. It just felt like it went with itself. The choices, the song arrangement choices, the bridge being half length and having little rap lines on top of it the second time, the extended long chorus at the end that had like the nice like harmony blend, the auto tuning really went with the beat. I love the song topic about the end of the world and horseshoe crabs. I'm pro crabs. It's a lot of things that I really like. It's really good. It's definitely the kind of thing I would expect MC117 to just do on a stage. If I saw them on stages, they don't live in the Northwest anymore, and everything. But it was really enjoyable to listen to. The song moved a lot for me. It's very nerdcore. It's very, very non-standard hip hop, both in subject matter and just MC117. Definitely understands verse and delivery and rhyme and flow, but works with what they like to do. But yeah, goddamn, that was a really likable track. I might be responding to it.
Flex Style's the producer, by the way.
Flex Style, that's the name. Thank you. Flex Style, great work. Great bass work through the beat. Good short intro. An intro that kind of gives you an indicator of the song without acting like it's gonna be something that needs fucking 30 seconds for it. Just a song I'd like to be on. That's what I would describe it as. A song I'd like to put lyrics to. It has a, what does it say? 7.5, and I am gonna give that bad boy. I'm gonna listen to that again. Not right now. Got things to do right now. But that one's gonna get listened to again. I might keep that for personal use. You know what? I'm feeling kind. I'm gonna give it a 9. That gets a 9 from me. I want you to know that that song has 0 1s and 0 2s, and that is very rare in this nerdcore competition.
Host.
Shubs, thoughts, feelings?
I'm just happy I was able to pull up the...
Yeah, you got it done.
Yeah.
Really, that should give you a bonus point right there.
That Dystopia song had just conjured up the
internet. It was so nerdcore, it fixed the internet problem.
It was so nerdcore. Comcast was like, my bad.
My bad.
I'm so sorry.
All right, and so now we have Is This Real Life by DJ John Acosta and Tangent Wiggy. And I don't know this group. I don't know most of these groups.
VPC 2019. Tangent to Wiggy Boo. DJ John Acosta. Captain his head, left his matted other, lefty Spider-Man is blown. Mr. Krabs grown skinny man, leave him alone.
I'm getting poverty vibes.
When you do, hit my line like you was barbecue. Becky, check it.
Like it's... I hate courses with kids. It's personal, but I do dislike them.
Reality needs, so take a second, just a question. How much tofu she makes my banana stand?
All right. Song's going on too long. Song is going on too long. Should have ended on that last chorus. When you're doing a competition track, you want to make the song a listenable length. That length can vary. Particularly talented arrangement and changes can extend it. But verse, chorus, bars, chorus, doesn't usually. I'm not saying everything has to be 2 verses and 2 hooks. You can have 3 verses, 3 hooks, 3 verses, 2 hooks, fucking 2 long verses with an interlude, or if you want to rap straight, 32 bars. But when you start crossing the threshold into, like, say, a 4th verse concept, it feels like the song should be done, and pop music's sort of done that to a lot of listeners, and it's certainly done it to me. But it feels like the song is just going longer than it should. Delivery was good. Again, I mentioned it in the track. It kind of sounds like Poverty Man a little bit, flow-wise. Not quite his voice, but and not necessarily how he deliver everything, but like it feels like it's related. Like you're a distant cousin. Like you're a distant cousin. A song about memes, meme song. You could have, like, you go with it a little bit about the general social whirlpool quicksand that we live in, about meme life and everything, but I feel like that was the lowest hanging fruit. You could have picked for one of the lowest hanging fruits you could have picked for the competition. Lyrically, it was fine. Just double entendre raps were there. I don't care about double entendres. I think that there's absolutely a place for them. The real clever ones that use non-sexualized double entendres, where that's just really double meaning words, is always fun. But if we're talking about sexualized stuff, it sort of guided people into a particular direction with their lyrics that I think limited what like width the song could be. Or what width or breadth of opportunities we could have. Overall, though, pretty good. Not terrible. Maybe better production on the vocals. You go long on that intro, and you have a kind of a like a not super catchy to listen to melody. It's not fully discordant, but it's kind of the tension rising sort of a melody that creates sort of tension on what you want it to change or do. I'm sure music majors could describe this better, but in the end, I don't think it's a terrible track. I just don't think it's a great track. I'm gonna give it. The audience has it at a 6. I'm probably gonna give it a 5. I think it was good effort, and I'm excited to hear more from you. But I think it deserves a little bit lower than it currently has from the audience vote. And I think next time work on choruses, and then again, my personal issue with children in a hook. I get that you're sampling the "Is This Real Life" meme, but I just hate it. Is to be continued by Double Analog.
Oh shit, okay. That was a JoJo reference.
Was it?
Yep. Specifically, part 1. It might be part 2, I can't remember. But, yeah.
America's pains again. Let me see. And escape, as he really says to me, friends dead, but if Neo got the beef, can they really expect that I won't get free? Feel the restraint chain apart to me.
Is this just a cut of the guitar work from the Yes solo? Yeah.
Save everything, but when they kick the door down. Straight so betrayed me.
I was hoping someone would do this.
Had to be the mask.
Oh, how dare you not give us the bass payoff of that? How dare you tease me all excited for the drop?
Brooklyn Bridge is where it's going down. Freezing the harmony on a stunning. Cujo with the cool Joe. 2 fairs with the flute flush.
Nice.
Maybe you should sit back.
I'm glad you're here for this, where you're grabbing the references.
Recall what the gas he said when the last of the light from his eyes died. That
gotta get on, Joe.
Use the hormone energy. So fresh.
That's so frustrating to listen to.
Girl, that ain't nothing, whatever. dot dot to the dot dot to the dot dot to the dot dot. Gutter at the junction. Rest in peace, homie.
Yeah, that was rough. You know I love Aha.
I mean, I'm not mad about this.
I am.
As the end. I don't.
The fact that I have like visibly reacted possibly should tell you everything that you need to know about how I'm gonna score
She
this.
showers with Pantene, but I got watermelon to keep me clean.
Nice.
All right.
Good shit.
All right. I liked that.
I mean, very much like referencing JoJo's Part 1 and Part 2.
Okay. So that's what the references were,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
I am in error for not being familiar with the JoJo universe.
No, it's all good. I was waiting. You know what? If I was waiting for just the drop of Sono Chino Sadame, like that part. Just. But you know, you've got what, 4 more rounds, so that's fine.
You can wedge that in.
Yeah, but and I'm going to speak to this because now folks want an explanation of whoa, Shubs, what the fuck up?
Yeah.
I thought that the JoJo references were pretty seamless, and the way that they the way that the producer had wove in the sampling of Roundabout was great.
Yep.
Because like it's one of those things, right, where you hear it just to like remind you, like, okay, this is the meme reference, and this is also a reference to JoJo.
Yeah.
And then it just goes in, and they've made it their own.
They made it their own, and they tease you by never giving you the bass payoff.
You were upset about that. I'm fine with it.
I am a bassist. I am a bassist.
You know,
that is one of the finest bass lines.
It is.
Of all time.
It is.
It's a great bass lick, and
But I guess what you need to understand is that Triple Aaron and I have been like binge watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I know.
So I've heard.
Aaron updates me. It's like we're finally into season 5. And it's even better than the last season.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm thirsty for it. I'm just distracted because I'm trying to be like creative and productive, which is a terrible choice.
Pish posh.
Terrible choice.
Pish posh.
You wouldn't know anything about that, Chance.
No.
You're not busy. You don't have like a kid and like you're not going on a leg of a national tour in like a month.
No. Pish posh.
Pish posh.
But no, I thought the sample workings in was
the
great.
sample flip was good. The transition off of it, regardless of my I'm waiting for the bass payoff, right? Was a little rough. It didn't loop. It didn't feel comfortable to me. That obviously has some influence on it. As I'm waiting for the thing to complete and it doesn't. But I also feel like maybe time signature wise, it was a bit of a stretch, but it might have been a deliberate choice because it's like, if you want to do that, which obviously it was on purpose, right? Then you kind of have to get what you get, with the cut back to the slowdown, to the sample flip. Flow wise, I think it was good. I don't think it was great. There was a lot of change ups, but sometimes I felt like you were just sampling from like that spaced out trap rap piece where you're just grabbing common flows where you like there was a piece where it goes in the da 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 da.
I wasn't mad.
Da 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 da.
I wasn't mad.
Da 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 da. And whereas I'm not super mad at it, it felt like at some point there was a bit of a laundry list of flow changes. I don't think it was bad, but I think due to the BPM of the song, it became a little bit more obvious to me. That being said, nobody invents new flow anymore. Like everybody's done some version of how you can rap over any given beat at this point, over a BPM, over a particular time signature, over a particular way that you swing said time signature. So I'm not real hurt by that. It's an interesting song. It's one I want to listen to again, which is a good sign.
Yep.
So I will be listening to it again. It has a 7 out of 10 on the thing, and I know that apparently Shubs disagrees with 7 out of 10.
Reason being is I don't think if folks know a lot about the anime and the manga that you've referenced, they're gonna vibe with it.
They're gonna recognize the skill.
They're gonna fucks with it more. But
see, that's what's great. and terrible about nerdcore at the same time, right? Like Shubs is a multi-skilled artist.
Bless you.
Many talented things, and whereas she has done, she cut her teeth on a VPC. She has done tons of nerdy songs. She also does a lot of not nerdy songs and everything. But it shows the moment when you hit that thing right, when you're not just doing a book report rap, right? But you hit that thing right, where it's a fandom or it's a content that somebody knows about. They wake up and they feel it. And that's what this song did for Shubs, while still being listenable for me. And that's the mark of, I would argue, a good nerdcore song that's deeply tied into a fandom.
Yeah.
Is it wakes the fandom up, and they're like, oh shit, I recognize that. That's a good line there. And it still is playable for people who are like, I don't know what this is, but these lines are dope.
Yeah.
So,
and the double entendres are like spread about, like the team does reference other memes and other nuances of the internet.
Yeah, and so it's obviously JoJo born, but not JoJo limited. And I think that's strong.
Yeah,
so
that's a delight and a treasure.
Shubs, what would you give this? Because you seem higher than a 7.
I will not share what I'm going to give this.
Is it higher than a 7?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Then, because you woke Shubs up, I'm gonna give you a bonus point for that. I was gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give you an 8 because you woke up Shubs, and that's hard to do, as we've seen from the previous recordings.
It is hard to do. It is hard to do.
It's hard. You're a busy woman. You have things to do. You're sitting here. You're scrolling on your phone. You're writing in like a what I thought was a passport when you pulled it out, but was in fact a small note task book.
Yeah, just taking notes.
Taking notes. I'm just sitting here feeling my emotions. Shubs is getting down facts. All right, this is Don't Tase Me, Bro. Dreams are for sleeping.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So
this is a wrestling intro, and I don't know wrestling very well. So I'm a bad nerd, and I don't know pro wrestling. The hypes on this are hard to listen to.
Might be 9 trade blood, 6 point fingers at the divine like Michelangelo's Adam was. Make fake gates to eat dirt was the only time I got it out the mud. A standard pander,
they're real loose on the beat too. No.
So I literally couldn't give 2 shits. Idioms were just memes before cathode ray tubes, kid. Back in my day, we went door to door to spam, and our neighbors were like, "Who's this?" And you'd be like, "I'll show."
On that. Okay, so Don't Tase Me, Bro. I had to stop it for a little bit. I don't like how the beat came together. It's very doom and gloom, but without the low end. Again, laptop speakers, that might be part of it. But another part of it might simply be that it wasn't cohesive. Again, sloppy delivery over the verse, kind of all over the place. The chorus was sing-songy, but not in a catchy way, just sort of in a kind of a again, kind of an obvious way, sort of a rappy kind of swing. It wasn't hitting me, and nothing about it was really grabbing me. And then it cut back to more of the take on the intro with the wrestler commentary, and just nothing about it spoke to me as a song. It's not the worst song. It's not a complete fall apart. I like a big doomy sounding beat. But I want it to be a bit more. I just want it to be more. I want it to be bigger. I want it to sound bigger. I want the vocals to have a big room behind them, and to have dramatics when you're matching it up with a big doom beat like that, with a beat that has a lot of foreboding in its melody. So yeah, it's not my favorite. It currently has a 5 on it. I'm actually gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. I don't think it's the worst song, but it didn't grab me. So maybe not better next time. Shubs is busy out here doing research, so she's taking her notes. But yeah, good effort, I guess. I didn't feel like it was a layup or like a throwaway attempt. So let's hear a bit more working on alignment of vocal production and delivery to the song you have behind you. I Can Has Nyan Cat by Dukes of Brothers.
Pop talk getting hidden bows with rainbows, rock a big frosting and never go plain clothes. Straight out of autonomy, astronomy, man. Even seeing it firsthand, you still miss dancing to your favorite Earth bands. Get popped on a rainbow, but it ain't no way to. Get popped on a rainbow, but it ain't no way to. Get popped on a rainbow, but it ain't no.
That is a weird way to take this beat.
To the heavens in 2011.
No, I'm not mad about it.
Rainbows 24/7, live rays of all shades get sprayed from the rectum. Every frequency across the whole visible spectrum.
All right. I Can Has Nyan Cat by Dukes of Brothers. Good track. Okay, rephrase. Okay track. Proficient enough. I really like the beat flipping of it. Full disclosure, later on when we get to Pinky and the Mancubus, which is my group, we also did a Nyan Cat beat. Mark did it. And I like this because it is very different than what we did. It really moved off of the main Nyan Cat melody, right? To come up with something interesting, and then played a lot with the beat and how weird it got. I think the outro is a little long. I think the vocals are a little grimily mixed. That might be deliberate, but it felt right with the melody. Like the kind of, again, it was one of those kind of like tension melodies where it feels like I should be in a game combat or like a gently dangerous place in a video game. Not necessarily like a boss fight, but like combat's about to start, the soundtrack changed. Yeah. Overall though, an okay track. Probably not one I'm gonna return to. The chorus just wasn't there. I think there was a lot of what's the word? Potential in that hook. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I just don't think it was quite produced right. I don't think the choices were quite right on it. I know Shubs has been super busy communicating with people, which is an important part of life. So she is making the right choice rather than simply talking at this camera as the sun dies into the horizon.
Internet is spotty, y'all. I'm trying to find out, and I know Whitney had asked this of all y'all participants, but I'ma emphasize this. I don't know who half y'all teams are, which is fine, mind you.
It's good. It's good, arguably.
But I want to be able to follow y'all on your social medias, and I can't do that if I don't know who you are, MC, and who you are, producer. So next round, please do us all a solid. Let us know what team you're on, who's doing what, so that way we have a better idea of who we're speaking to, or rather who Steve is critiquing.
And you can do that by submitting your profile and everything to the VPC. There is various social media posts as well as, I believe, instructions on the site. You can reach out to Beaker, Whitney, Jordan, any number of people to get the instructions if you don't know. I want to say that I am not without sin in this. I have not submitted Pinky and the Mancubus's profile yet. I am going to know who we are on this for my purposes. And I feel like anyone that listened to me previously is going to be like, yeah, that's cosplay. That's cosplay on the mic. But I want people to know who Mark is and the history of both of our projects. So there you go. But I'm going to give this song, I'm torn between a 5 or a 6. I feel good. I'm going to give it a 5. I'm going to give you a 5. I feel like you could do better. I don't believe it deserves lower than that, though. I feel like that is a fair. It could be a 5. It could be a 6. I don't think it deserves like a 4 or a 3. So I'm interested. I'm hoping that Dukes of Brothers releases more stuff. This is Tragedy of a SpongeBob Meme, Genesis 66. Which I love as a team name and as a song title, and so I have high hopes.
Making heat since the caveman did. You attack, I'ma stand since the caveman did. SpongeBob stay cool and I'm a caveman kid. Hunt, eat, and delete to this caveman biz. As a puppet, I wonder what master a dance was. Make me a meme and I'll dash to the dance.
Kind of hope it just fades out with this.
Long live Bikini Bottom. Do y'all know how it feels? People want to stay immortalized. I just want to disappear.
This feels like a very me song, where it's like at the end I'm gonna make it real sad. I'm gonna make a real sad song. So I like that a lot. I think the MC just went on that beat. That's a good example of writing a song that isn't verse chorus, but giving me a song that feels like it's made to be listenable, right? To be re-listened to be like I got bars, I got plenty of them, and I'm gonna give you them in units of 8, and everything, and then eventually and it's gonna be fast enough that right about when you're like, oh man, this is going on for a bit, is there gonna be a chorus? And then instead you just fade out a melody and then do a little play at the end to really nail home the subject matter of your song. I think it was good. I think it was all right. It was pretty all right. I liked it a lot. I don't know this team. Shub showed me who was on it, and they looked good. But I don't think I know them as performers before.
Yeah, Tamashi and Master. I'm trying to check to see if our hookah situation is still happening.
I think it's about done.
It's about done.
We're gonna have to reload. Yeah, great. I love the beat. I love the sample flip. I think it's great. I love that you acknowledged it with the melody at the very end with the singing. I agree that would have been weird as like interrupting chorus, so it works, I think, as an outro real well. I don't have a lot of criticism for this. I really like the flow on this. I'm gonna have to listen to it again to get the lyrical content because I was too distracted by some of just the straight rhymes and the delivery. But in the end, I think that this was a good subject matter, and I think it was a good flip of meme for both sides. So good work. This has 7.5 fires. Understand, when I give something an 8 or a 9, it really means that I think that it is probably it is probably an artist that I want to pursue and keep listening to, that I want to move into my mix on Spotify or Pandora, if they're on Pandora, or YouTube playlist, what have you. I'd go to their Bandcamp or their SoundCloud and listen through their stuff. So 8 or 9 is absolutely in that category. I've been being mostly on the lower side of things, so I'm gonna give it an 8 instead of a 9, but I feel like it's definitely in the 8 category, and it would be perfectly reasonable on the right day for me to do it 9. I think if I heard it live, I'd probably give it a 9, because I like live delivered hip-hop to me.
Oh, this would hit live.
This would hit hella hard live.
This would hit super live.
Yeah, and so keep making songs for this competition, because that was fire.